All right, we would usually maybe do a segment in here. Maybe we'll just push it to the back, but we want to make sure that we get Seth on soon. So, James, we can get him in the chat. And if you haven't checked out Seth's site before, it's posting and toasting. He's got a really, really good Twitter feed also. So get on that. And without further ado, let's bring him on. How you doing, man?
Hello.
Why does every New York guy look like an Instagram photo?
Yeah,
Lighting's
this
not
is
good for you in here?
this is not lighting.
So
This
many
is just what New
sepia
York
tones.
looks like.
This always happens to us.
So what's going on, dude? How are you feeling about the Knicks off season?
Pretty good. I mean, I'm not too pleased with losing out on Sean Williams, but in general, the moves that took place earlier, a week or two ago, were a little more pleasant. But still worried about the filling out.
Yeah, so you guys have got a great front court, a really, really stacked front court. Who is going to be dribbling the ball for you this year? Is it going to be Amon Shumpert? Do you think they pick up Davis? What's going on?
Well, it's going to be Tony Douglas as the starter for the time being. That's what D'Antoni has
How do you
said
feel
in
about
training
that?
camp. He can dribble a ball. He's not turnover prone. He can hit an open jump shot. He can finish in the fast break. As a passer, don't feel that great about him. But then again, you know, he's played 2 years in the league. He could be making strides still. I'm not ready to have a fully formed image of who Tony Douglas is yet. But for the time being, he is the chief ball handler and passer, except for maybe Carmelo Anthony if they're feeling a little zany.
So with the Chandler pickup, in your opinion, are the Knicks significantly better right now than they were at this time last year when they had basically just Amari and a lot of role players?
Yes, definitely. Absolutely.
So how do you think Chandler is going to kind of fit in with the front court that you already have?
Well, he's not going to get the ball very much. For one, because his front court mates like to hold on to the ball, and for two, because Tony Douglas is the guy running point and isn't all that gifted at this point at feeding a cutter or making an entry pass. Defensively, he'll fit right in that there's a giant Tyson Chandler-sized hole in last year's team. And there will be plenty of chances for him to play defense because he's relatively solitary in that regard.
Yeah, no, I think he'll be a great fit. I mean, him playing alongside Amari, you'd imagine, will be a similar situation as what he could do for Dirk in the middle for Dallas. It's been a very weird week in the NBA. Are you feeling good about the relationship between, like, how do you feel about the relationship between the league and the Hornets and how the Chris Paul trade went down? Are you offended? Are you just kind of weirded out? Do you really even care?
Well, my instinct when the news broke on whatever it was, I guess a week ago today, it was Thursday when they started saying, oh, the Chris Paul deal to the Lakers isn't happening. My instinct was just, please let the Knicks not get involved. Let's just sign Tyson Chandler and step out of it. Because it just seemed like the kind of thing that would, you know, I thought at that point that Paul was going to go back to the Hornets and then he would go back on, they would, you know, open up to the rest of the market and start to see other trades, and that the Knicks would try to get involved again and maybe renege on Chandler. But yeah, I mean, it's creepy. I do think that the Clippers deal is the best one that they could get, and that it's better than the package the Lakers are offering. But I do tend to see things from a Knicks perspective, and for me, I'm just happy that the Knicks didn't wedge themselves into that little dilemma.
What about what if they had offered? I mean, I know that this could never happen in a million years, but what if they had offered Carmelo for Paul? If they had offered Carmelo in like a piece or two, and they could still sign Chandler, and then they could have Paul, Amari, Chandler. Would that be? What about that? Just for a tantalizing package that's already, for a trade that's already happened.
You got to do that. I mean, Chris Paul is considerably better than Carmelo Anthony, and I love Melo, and I'm happy with him on the Knicks. But yeah, I would do that trade, and I got offered that trade in the like backdoor SB Nation trading scenarios that were going on. Rohan from At the Hive was trying to engage us in fake trade talks, and he was like Melo for Paul, and I was like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's a better superstar than the one you have, but you do have a couple superstars now, and is this like, I mean, where do you see the Knicks stacking up in the conference for the next 5 years? Just kind of just a fringe of the elite, or possibly if a Shumpert comes along and really develops an elite team?
Yeah, I mean, at the time, right now, I would say they're edging into the fringe of the elite. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they're in the top 4 in the conference. I would be really happy, but not surprised. And I think you're on the right track that it would take something slightly unexpected for them to work their way into being a championship contender. Something like Shumpert being and ending up being an all-star, which would be the best. And I would have been the first one to call that. I just want everyone to know that. But yeah, it would take, you know, some creativity, and the Knicks aren't really known for being creative in the way that they sign players and make moves. But as currently composed, I don't see them being, you know, a finals contender. But they're certainly closer than they've been, you know, since I was in diapers. And I wore diapers till I was 10, incidentally.
I mean, I think that's just a normal thing.